Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got a super important episode today with reviewers' opinions on Starfield so far, mod support coming day one, no bugs or glitches in many of the reviewers' playthroughs so far, and so much more. So grab a cup of coffee, because we got a lot to talk about. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the Comeback Kids are doing a giveaway for a free copy of Starfield, so make sure you stick around till the end of the video to learn more information on how you can win a free copy for yourself. Now, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we just want to start off by saying Starfield is officially less than 2 weeks away, and we are absolutely in the end game of this game launching, man. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you got the game through Microsoft Store or purchased it for the Xbox, make sure you start your pre-download today, right now. If you bought the game on Windows PC through Steam, you're gonna have to wait until the end of the month, sadly. But if you have the opportunity, it's a 130 gigabyte download. It is a lot to get through. We also saw something that was really interesting over on Reddit, that there's actually Starfield-themed drinks over in Germany right now. So if you're either a big memorabilia fan or if you're just watching this from Germany, definitely go ahead and grab one of those and crack it open for me. I'd be killing to get one of those right now for the background of the room. Obviously, there have been other merchandises with Starfield, like chairs, backpacks, whatever. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you go check it out online as well. Getting into some actually serious news, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, that Gamescom is going to be on August 23rd through the 27th. If you don't know what Gamescom is, it's one of the largest gaming events of the year, allowing the gaming community to play the latest games that are coming out and giving, exclusive access to the showcases and pick up all the, best merchandises of these games, etc. So the reason we're telling you this is because Starfield is actually going to be on the show floor at Gamescom in a few days. Now, it hasn't been confirmed how much of Starfield we're going to see at Gamescom, but they did announce they're going to be releasing more details on what's going to be available for that very, very soon. It seems highly likely that Starfield is going to be a playable feature at Gamescom this year, given the high anticipation of, the game and its close release. But even if it isn't, we're almost certain that we'll hear more details and news about Starfield from Todd Howard or some other developers in the final Starfield showcase interview. These 4 days are going to be pretty big on Bethesda's part to ramp up the excitement surrounding Starfield right before the game's early access launch on September 1st. But like always, ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep you updated with all that information and news about that. Now, if you didn't know already, Starfield has been given out to a ton of people and reviewers to playtest and review the game, so when the review embargo lifts later at the end of this month, they can actually inform the people and give their honest opinion about the game. Now, there have been a ton of news and information to talk about and get through, and one of them was actually about the menu screen that we're about to show on screen right now. By the way, if you don't want to see what it looks like, just simply skip ahead about 20 to 30 seconds to go on with the other news. As you can see on screen right now, this is what the menu screen for Starfield is actually looking like, and it seems that some people are actually stating things such as Starfield's menu screen got leaked. It looks about as empty and generic and boring as the procedurally generated 999 planets in the game. Now listen, I'm not really sure what all the hate is about a minimalist type of design when it comes to the home screen, considering Skyrim's home screen was about as minimalist as it can get. My guess is that this person has to be some sort of PlayStation only player and they're actually butthurt because they don't get to have the game on PlayStation, or they just simply, can't get access to an Xbox or a PC, whatever the case may be. Either way, I think PlayStation users should be pretty happy considering the fact that Starfield has the lowest download size out of all the consoles, being at a whopping 0 gigabytes compared to everyone else. So shout out to PlayStation users there. Something else that has been incredibly interesting in the news is that the version that's going to be launched with Starfield is pretty high up there on the list of patches. For example, Fallout 4 launched as a 1.10 patch, and Starfield's projected launch is going to be at a 1.6.35 patch, which means that they're definitely aiming for Starfield to be one of the most polished launch titles in the company's arsenal to date. Something to even attest to this is that there are reviewers out there saying that the time that they've played so far, they haven't even experienced a single bug or glitch after playing for over 15 hours at a time. The thing is, ladies and gentlemen, is that Bethesda games have always been relatively smooth if we aren't talking about Fallout 76. I've never personally faced anything particularly game-breaking other than like maybe the occasional freeze here or there, but we also have autosaves, so we'll be fine with that. I remember when I played Skyrim, hell, I didn't even notice any bugs or glitches the entire time I've ever played Skyrim, and that was back in 2011. The only time I've ever had some sort of game-breaking bug or bad experience is when I started adding, you know, a ton of mods into the game and started doing some really funky stuff. But obviously, I don't want to jinx anything. So far, though, what we've gotten from the reviewers have all been very positive news, and they are kicking ass when it comes to making a solid, stable game with Starfield as of right now. Reviewers all over the place are taking to Twitter and Reddit and just giving a brief snippet of how good they did with the game. With Noel stating, "Been playing a certain space game and holy shit, did they cook." We also have Paris over on Twitter confirming that he's been playing Starfield, and ever since he's been playing, he's gone completely radio silent from Twitter, which means he's really putting in those hours. In other news, according to Data Miner, there is no sign of DLSS and XESS for Starfield. His recent report has revealed that he's going through all the preload files for Starfield on the PC and found no trace of upscalers. So it seems that Bethesda and AMD should be prepared for some sort of negative feedback, since there hasn't been any confirmation that competitor technologies will be blocked in Starfield. Now, this may sound like a bunch of mumbo jumbo, because to be honest, it is a little bit for me until I, did a shitload of research on it. But DLSS pretty much stands for Deep Learning Super Sampling from NVIDIA, and XESS is XE Super Sampling from Intel. Basically what this is, it's an AI-enhanced upscaler that helps optimize your FPS and your high-definition visuals in the game, which nowadays is very common in new game releases. So coming from a game that's really supposed to have, incredible visuals like Starfield and, be real story-driven, people might get a little bit disappointed with this. I'm also really curious to see how long it takes before some really awesome mods start kicking in for Starfield, because I'm sure the community is going to be scratching and clawing to get their hands on anything to make this game as crazy as it could possibly be. But talking about some more community-based topics, a user over on Reddit stated something quite interesting about the difficulty increase in Starfield and their hopes for it. He stated that in a November interview with Todd Howard, he explained that AI enemies are potentially capable of easily dominating human players, and deliberate limitations have to be added for the player to have any chance. So does this mean that increased difficulty settings will be more than just damage multipliers and health multipliers? Now, personally, something that I cannot stand in video games nowadays is that in order to make something harder, a lot of games just simply turn up that knob of enemy health and damage rather than changing something like their combat strategies, combat tendencies, and stuff like that. In my opinion, I cannot stand fighting something that is just a bullet sponge and will just one-shot me if I get hit one time. It's the exact opposite of what I'm looking for in a game. I think it'd be personally awesome that if you did turn up the difficulty in a game, enemies gain maybe new abilities, increase in numbers, become much more aggressive and strategic with their tactics, pretty much just anything to mix up the gameplay rather than just simply turning up the knob on damage they deal and health. Now, I'm sure to a certain extent, you're going to have that sort of thing, but anything that's overdone is just annoying rather than anything. A prime example of this was Diablo 4 recently, and honestly, it was just a lazy excuse for increasing difficulty, in my opinion. It was the worst design you could possibly have, because it was to the point where the mobs had so much health and you barely hit them hard, and then they'll just automatically one-shot you. I thought it was really, really lame and not really good for giving the player a real challenge in the world. Additionally, we also saw a really interesting pose when it came to companions in Starfield. Now, everyone knows that Bethesda has been pretty adamant on putting companions as a part of their playthrough, if you'd like it. Now, the question is, how much are you going to be using companions in your Starfield playthrough? When it comes to me personally, I didn't use them at all in Fallout 4, but I did use them a bunch in Skyrim. I think that had to do with the fact that Skyrim was more of a high fantasy game, while Fallout 4 was more of a post-apocalyptic, destroyed world that I'd rather just be a lone wanderer, wandering that wasteland by myself. I'm not sure the route I'm going to want to take when it comes to Starfield, to be honest. I think it would really highly depend on my character fantasy and stuff like that. But I can't promise you I'm going to be using all my companion skills for my ships, my outposts, all that fun stuff. I'm just going to be very curious if I can't find a trusty companion to actually bring with me in battle and see how that sort of feels. I don't know. What are you guys' opinion on this whole topic? Are you going to be using a bunch of companions? Are you not going to be using them? Are you just going to go solo? Let me know in the comments section below. Now, if you guys are interested in seeing some more Starfield content, don't forget to consider subscribing. Also, back to that giveaway, the Comeback Kids are doing a giveaway for a free copy of Starfield. So if y'all are interested, please visit the link in the description below to find out more details on how you can win that. But okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be all for me today. I want to thank you all so much for watching and all the love and support. It's an absolute pleasure to be making content for you all. Until the very end, my name's Sky from the Comeback Kids. I will see you all in the next one. Peace.